In Austin, I stall, pause, my eyes crawl to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors appear clear, gritted from ear to ear. Craving and raving and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Boom, yes it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, hello everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour.
We manifest dreams.
I'm still struggling a little bit from yesterday. Sinus drainage was just an absolute monster. If you've had it, you know what I'm saying. And so I was pretty much out of it yesterday. It was just kind of like, man, let me rest. I didn't. In fact, I stayed in bed all day yesterday. Had a friend bring me over some stuff to take for my stomach and stuff, so that was great. But for the most part, this weather is just, I mean, if I wasn't afraid of needles, I'd just go get shots. But it's like, do you suffer a little bit, or do you get over your fears and take shots? I don't like needles. It's not my thing. I'm not a needle guy. Not a needle guy. So I don't have to ever worry about drugs, heroin, all that nonsense, because I'm not, that needle stuff, you can keep it to yourself. I'm not a fan of it. But anyway, that being said, I'm hoping everybody's having a fantastic Friday. Got a long weekend. Of course, tomorrow is the big thing, and everybody knows what that is, right? If you don't, tomorrow, excuse me. Sorry. Tomorrow there is this OU and OSU Big 12 basketball battle. Of course, my kids have been on me hard this week because most of my kids are OU fans. So they've been on me about, oh, yeah, coach, it's over with. I said, oh, no, I'm going to be running my mouth because, yes, you guys are ranked. We're not. This is Coach's third different team. He's finally, I guess, figured it out in the portal. But I'm not afraid. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on ESPNU. And, of course, the game will be at Paycom. And, unlike our football coach, we're not afraid to play OU. So it's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to watching it in person tomorrow. They're at Paycom. And the Thunder, the problem is, here's the issue. The Thunder are going to be playing tomorrow night as well. That's the issue, okay? That's the issue. Tomorrow night, the Thunder play at 8:30. So the other game comes on at 8:30. The OSU game will be on at 7. So OSU is at 7. So that would help out a great deal because the game will be pretty much over by the time the Thunder game starts. So the question is, where do we go? What do we do for that game? So anyway, I'm looking forward to the Thunder game tomorrow. I'm looking forward to the OSU game, so we'll be watching the OSU game, and then in person. And then once the Thunder game starts, we'll be watching that game on TV as well. And so, looking forward to that. What a game it's going to be! Rockets and the Thunder tomorrow night. The Thunder are 4.5-point favorites. Over under is 222, not 22, but 222.5. And remember, the last time we played each other, the Thunder lost. Okay, the Thunder lost the last time we played each other. So. That being said, what do I expect from this time around? I expect the coach to do what he did against the Mavericks. Number one, you don't change your lineup. You play SGA the whole first quarter, the whole third quarter, just like you did last time. And SGA kills them every time he sees them pretty much. But he has a harder time against them because of Thompson. He's a beast. And he's SGA because he's long. He's physical, so you had HGA, and then plus you throw Jalen Green in, so you can throw a bunch of different guys at him that are all around the same height, same length. But SGA does what SGA does. He's going to get to his points, but get to his spots. But if he's knocking down threes, it's not going to really matter a whole lot, I don't think. But I think the Thunder are on a mission, but it all depends on the coach. Because defensively, and we'll go over the stats here in a minute, defensively, the Thunder are why they're winning games. I mean, there's no secret. It's the defense and what they're doing is why they're winning games, number one. Number two, SGA is doing what SGA does, number two. And number three, the holdbacks are our coach doesn't understand lineups and he doesn't understand flow of the game. Those are things that he has not got yet in his fourth year of whatever he's been coaching. Those are things he has not understood. He just doesn't. He's more interested in playing and building building players up. Look, there's a window you have to be able to win. Okay? The first time our first round, the team that Sam Presti first built the first time around had a window. When that window closed, it closed. But you had about a 3-year window in there to do something with it, and we really didn't have. And I like Scotty Brooks, but it ended up being he wasn't the right guy. So now you come in and Billy Donovan certainly wasn't the right guy. But I will say Billy Donovan now coming into the Thunder team we had then, I think he would have been way more successful than this being his first time out coaching. I believe that 100% because now he gets it. He's not gonna take Kevin Durant out after he makes 4 straight threes and pull him out of a game. He's hot. You leave him in. You don't go by your rotation and you're trying to exert dominance. I'm the coach and this is what I do. That's not how you win in the NBA. Maybe in college you can do that. And Bill Belichick, and we're going to talk about him a little bit. He's going to have to face the same thing. College and pros are not the same. They're just not. It's a total different animal. So you can't have the same mentality at college as you do in the pros. So the question is, this coach has the team, and let's face it, has he helped build the team? Yes. But the biggest thing that Sam Presti did, he's got to thank the Clippers. And what do we always laugh about? Mets, Jets, Clippers. Or Jets, Mets, Clippers. However you want to do it. They're the three most dysfunctional franchises. What are the Mets? John Card still on. Juan Soto. Bro, you got a chance to be with the Yankees, but you're going to leave them to go to the crosstown rivals because you want a suite for your family to be in, which is going to cost the team an additional $2 million a year, and they're already paying you what? Take some of that $40 million or $50 million and pay for your family. Okay? Take some of that. But why? His point is like, look, screw all that. I want to take care of my family. I want them to do this. I want them to come in. If they don't give Derek Jeter a suite, he had to pay for his own suite out of his money, they're not giving you one. They don't give Aaron Judge a suite, they're not giving you one. But that just says you want to be out. But that being said, you have to understand flow of the game, and our coach does not. He does not get it. And, people are, and it's hard for me because I like the guy, and I think he's done well developing talent. But when you go back to the Jets, Mets, Clippers, or the Mets, Jets, Clippers, however you want to look at them, the fact that they gave up SGA, when the coaching staff did not want to give up SGA because they realized what they had. But Paul George, that's who Kawhi wanted. He wanted the veteran player, so they did what they acquiesced to what their player wanted. And look what happened. The Jets acquiesced to what Aaron Rodgers wanted. Got rid of the coach. Great coach. Not the same team. So now when you get this, and then all of a sudden, what do you draft? Josh Giddey. Developed him. Turn around and you draft J-Dub. Developed him. Chet developed him into next year. Cason Wallace. And now you're developing AJ Mitchell. So our coach is fantastic at developing players. Sam Presti's, the thing that he learned from last time, to me, this is the one thing that he learned from the last great team that we had. He never drafted people to really come in to support what we had. This time he has. So he's learned his lesson from that 100%. He's drafting players to go along with what he has. Now, this time around, to me, the coaching still is the issue. Remember what the Warriors did. Mark Jackson was great at getting them to where they were. But if you want to win a chip, because that window is the window, it's a 4 or 5 year window is what you got. Maybe 6 years window, that's what you got. What are you going to do in that window? They went out and got a different coach to help them go to the next level. This coach has been fantastic at getting the players to where we are. Now You got to have somebody who understands flow of the game and who understands lineups. And F that minutes management crap. There's no way J-Dub should play the same amount of minutes as SGA or more minutes under any circumstances. You know what your best five is. Go play him. We're trying to win here. And like I said, I predicted at the beginning of the year that he's going to cost us 5 or 6 games. Then after he cost us 3 in our first, 12, I moved that up to 10 to 12 games because he wants to play J-Dub, and he doesn't understand lineups, and he doesn't understand flow of the game. There's no questioning that under any circumstances. If you know anything about basketball, you cannot question those. Now, that being said, once again, developing, yes. Out of bounds plays, yes. He does fantastic at developing plays for us to get a quick basket on out of bounds plays or get a good look or get a good shot out of the out of bounds, out of a timeout. 100% he does that. That's another fantastic thing. But you got to understand is when the game starts changing, you've got to make the play. He doesn't. And then the second thing, that's Ace going crazy. Must be, the mailman. He's going nuts about the mailman. Anyway, another thing is when they put in their best player, you put in your best player. No matter what team we play, as soon as SGA goes in games, their best player comes in. Best player comes in. And in 50-50 games, which are games that are you can win or lose, you have to go with your best talent. You have to go with the best players in the best lineups. And your best lineups have been SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, and Dort if you go small, and now K-Rich instead of Dort, or depending on who's in there, whether it's Dort and K-Rich together. Because like the other night, the lineup with Caruso, Kaysen, Dort, SGA, and K-Rich was unbelievable because when Luka had Dort, boom, they run a screen. Oh, he's got Kaysen. Boom, they run another screen. He's got Caruso. Boom, you run another screen. There's K-Rich. He did not have a break from us, and I'm sure the next time we play them, they'll figure it out because I think we play them 2 more times. So they'll work on that, and Luka will be better. But that's the thing. You know what your 5 is. Play your 5. We're playing to win, not to try to help somebody, not to try to get somebody better. We're playing to win. You cannot give away games. Denver, they gave away a game to us last year by not playing Jokic here. And then they got upset by the Spurs, which cost them the number 1 seed because they gave up what? They had a 3-1 loss lead. We had the tiebreaker against them. Had the tiebreaker against Minnesota. What does that mean? You have to win your tiebreakers. You got to win your games that you know you got to win. You got to win the series against Denver. You got to win the series against the Mavericks. You got to win the series against Minnesota. You got to win the series against teams that you know, the Rockets. This is our 3rd time playing them. We're 1-1. You got to win this game. Then you got to come back and beat them again. You got to have a 3-1 record against them. You got to win these games. We're better than the Rockets, but they're better coached than we are. That's a fact. Ime Udoka's a better coach than what we have. And I said at the beginning of the year, watch out for the Rockets because this is his 2nd year with the team. You've got a leader as far as your point guard is concerned, Van Fleet. And then you've got a bunch of dogs on defense. And then Şengün, you got a big man, even though he's not the biggest guy, but one-on-one giving him the ball, he's hard to stop. Those are facts. These aren't something that I'm just making up. These are facts. And it just frustrates me because we have an opportunity to do something here. We have a 5 or 6 year window, maybe even longer than that, because we're only 25. The oldest guys, 26 SGA? We're still the youngest, second youngest team, and they were right behind us. Houston is. But you can't sit there and go, hey, let me develop this guy and let me develop. You can't. Dude, let's try to win. What did you do, Sam Presti? Our biggest weakness was what? Inside presence. Did you accomplish that? 100%. And remember, 3 years ago I said field goal, improving our field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, just shooting. Number 2, we had to improve our perimeter defense. And number 3, inside presence. Took care of that last year with those 2 things. Took care of those things. The 3rd thing was inside presence. Took care of that this year by adding Hartenstein. And then losing Chet hurt. And we didn't have Hartenstein, but the dogs that you had out there when you went small with SGA, Caruso, Kaysen, Wiggins, and Dort. And now K-Rich is coming along. So whenever you needed a stop, boom, you stick that 5 in there. We're going to stop a run because everybody of them are about the same size, but they all can jump. They're all very physical. They all can shoot the 3, and they all play what? Defense. So every time you make a run, it's with the coach's favorite guy, J-Dub, on the bench. Now, J-Dub is a great number 2 right now, but he's going to be number 3 when Chet comes back. We were rolling with Chet and SGA. SGA averaging 28, 29, 30. Chet averaging 24. We're rolling, and J-Dub averaging 17. We're rolling. Why? Because you had everything in order. But you're playing J-Dub more minutes than SGA. In what world, and I'm going to say this 1,000 times until this freaking coach gets it, what world do you live in that you have a guy who's the second back, he's the back-to-back first team All-NBA, going to be his third straight back-to-back All-NBA team. You can play a guy who doesn't make anything over him in more minutes. What world do you live in? Oh, that's right, you think he's better. Oh, that's right, you're going to develop him. He's never going to be him. He is a good number 3, and he's a good 2B to me. Now, Nathan says he's a 3. I think he's a 2B. I think it's SGA, Chet, 2A, him 2B, and a 3A, but 2B. Now, Shaq, Charles, and all of them say the same thing I do. SGA 1, Chet 2, J-Dub 3. Thunder don't think that way because he don't play them that way. But if you want to win, and this is what the Athletics said, not me, that this coach can he coach a all-star? He can't. He doesn't get it. The Thunder's philosophy is we have a team-oriented. Now he's talking about all of our players were two-way players. Well, early in the year, the Sam Presti said at the beginning of the year that SGA needs to learn how to be a two-way player. That's what he said. Even though he did something only 3 players have done in history, 2 other players other than him done in history, average 30, shoot 50%, 2 steals. I don't know what a two-way player is if it's I'm scoring, I'm shooting a high field goal percentage, and I'm taking away the ball from the other team, and I'm leading the league in steals. I don't know what the hell a two-way player is if that ain't it. Now, two-way players do we have? We have more one-way players who are more than two-way players. One-way players, Caruso, Kaysen, Dort, those 3. K-Rich, Wiggins, those are all mainly defensive guys who can score a little bit. But those aren't two-way players. Those are defensive players who can help you offensively. J-Dub is a two-way player. He's become one. Last year, he was pretty much offense, not defense. This year, he's better defensively, still in the ball, but he still has weaknesses off it. They take the ball. I mean, you get him against a good player, they're going to take him off the dribble because he's big and his feet, he doesn't have the right feet to really move as quick because he's so big and so physical. He's not quick enough. So he does get taken advantage of by good players. But he is more of a two-way player than the other guys. The other guys are primarily one-way players. So, now, that being said, like I said about the Thunder defense, what does that mean, okay? What does that mean? Here are our team stats right here. And what I did is I highlighted the things that have made the Thunder 19-5. Here are the things that made the Thunder 19-5. And I bolded these particular ones so you can kind of see what I'm saying. Number 1, we only give up 103.8, and that's 2 points a game. Remember, we were at 95 until Chet got hurt. So since we've given up 8 more points a game since Chet went out. So we're second. Field goal percentage, we're number 1. Opponents are shooting 42.6%. 3-point percentage, our opponents are shooting 33.8. So remember what I said earlier. The 3 things we need to improve on were outside shooting, defensive presence, or perimeter defense, and inside presence. Field goal percentage, we're 12th and 19th. Remember, we were 3rd last year in three-point percentage, and we're way down this year. But the reason why we're winning this year is because of these things that I'm highlighting right now. Assists, we're 4th in the league and only giving up 24.3 assists per game. Pips, that's my stat, points in the paint. We are 47.1, which we are number 1 in the NBA giving up. Steals, 6.6 steals per game as our opponents are stealing the ball from us, which means we're taking care of the ball. And then we're at 12.1 and stealing the ball. We're lead the league. Turnovers. Blocks. We are 3rd in blocking shots. Once again, that defensive presence I'm talking. blocks, turnovers. We steal the ball from the opponents. 11.8.1. That's another defensive stat. Okay? And then that means that's offensive. Defensively, we're stealing the ball 19.2, my bad. But we're taking care of the ball, and turnovers are only average 11.8. Now, here are the things that make the difference, in addition to the ones I said. Fourth quarter, we're second in the league in giving up points in the fourth quarter, 25.1. 25.1. Now, what happens is we give up points, early points, but towards the 6-minute mark through about the 2-minute mark, teams don't score as many points. So we clamp down on that. That's been the difference. Here are the things. These are the reasons why the Thunder are where they are, without question. Here are the stats. They're not thrown away. Here are the stats. Now, offensively, are we scoring? Yes, we are scoring, and we are taking care of the ball offensively. So here are offensive stats that I'm going to give you right here, okay? SGA averaging 30.2 points per game, shooting 51% from the field, 51.5, and 34% from three. Now, that's going up. Okay, his three-point percentage is going up slowly but surely. He was low, and our whole team as a whole was low. Kaysen was low. Caruso was low. Joe is going down. But these guys' stats, A.J. Mitchell's been shooting the ball good consistently the whole time. J-Dub's stats were terrible. It was gone up, okay? So this is when you look at the team, you look at where we are, this is what's happening with our team, okay? This is what we're doing as a group, okay? Plain and simple. It's not rocket science. This is just the way it is, okay? This is just who the Thunder are and what the Thunder are doing now as a group, okay? Let me see. And then when you look at what we're doing, okay, J-Dub, 21.8, 50% from the field, 37.8% from three. What's he doing? Scoring, and he's doing it, now his three-point percentage is rocking about the same point. He was really low at first. I mean, Nathan and I talked about how low he was, but he is doing much better now on the three-point percentage as he should be. And we need him to be, because if we're going to win, he's going to have to be the Batman right now, or to Robin to our Batman. He has no choice in to do that if we're going to win, because we need him until Chet gets back. That is just a must. This is a must thing. We have to have him in doing his thing. Okay? So, Isaiah Hartenstein, I need to throw his rebounds in there and forget all the shooting. But the thing that scares me about him mainly is that 57.1 3-point field goal percentage. Now, in a close game, if you have him on the floor, your problem is if teams do a hack-a-shack. Now, you can't find him the last 2 minutes, or it's the last minute. But they can do the hack-a-shack on him. That worries me, okay? That worries me. The only thing about him. Shooting 55% is good, but he's got to start making those floaters. I want him to be up around 58, 59% because he's shooting those close little floaters. That little one-hand shot that he does just inside the free throw line, that's called a floater. Okay, so I like what he's doing there, but he's got to make more of those to make us even more efficient. Dort, 9.9, 40% from the field, 39% from three. And 39% is decent. But as many as he shoots, he's got to be up by 42, 45% is where I want Dort. The same thing with Wiggins. His three-point shooting is going down a little bit too, at 39.3. Joe, 38.2. So the guys who shoot the most threes on our team are all in their 30s. Okay? Kendrick Williams doesn't shoot that many threes. He's at 41. But here are the stats that make the difference as far as what the Thunder are doing offensively. Now, what we've got to do is Hartenstein up. We got to get your free throw percentage up. Now, he still have not shot from three, but he shot at least 1 3 in the last 3 games. And like I said before, I'm not against that 100%. I want him to shoot. I don't want him to be out there where teams can back off of him and be afraid of him, saying, oh, he's not going to shoot the ball, so we don't have to go guard him. I appreciate him being able to do that. He's got to be able to want to shoot the ball. He's got to be able to shoot the ball. Those are things that he's got to, and he's shooting in rhythm. He's not waiting. As soon as he catches and they back off him, he shoots in rhythm. He'll start making those. I have no doubt. But once again, he's got to get up. And the one thing that scares me is 57.1 free throw percentage. Okay, that makes me really, really nervous. But he's going to have to make that. So, but I think he will. I think he will. I'm not too mad about that. So now in the NBA Cup on the other side, you have the Bucks and the Hawks. The Trae Young and those guys at the Hawks took care of the Knicks the other night, and that was a shocker to me. I knew they could win. I guess it's not a shocker. I thought the Knicks should win, but I thought that Trey and the boys could get that W, and they did. So the nice win by Trey and them. They go to Vegas and with a chance to win some money. So I like that. Now, who do I think is going to win of these next four teams? Okay, that matters. The way I look at it is really simple. You have the Thunder and the Rockets, which I think, remember I talked about this earlier. Number one, I wanted to get the Warriors back. They're the team that beat us. We took care of that. Remember, the Chet got hurt. We came back and beat them. And we with Hartenstein. Then we turned around and we played the Mavericks with Hartenstein. Didn't have them the first time, beat them. Now we're playing the Rockets with Hartenstein. Let's get that third W. Okay? We play these teams. And then who do I want between the Bucks and the Hawks? I'd rather play the Hawks than the Bucks because Giannis and Dame together, even though defensively we can slow them down, but I don't know. There's just not an answer for Hartenstein. Now, defensively with our defense, I think we can handle Dame and make his life a little bit rougher, and I don't think they can beat us with just Giannis by himself. I think they have to have Giannis and Dame, but I think we can beat them. And the Hawks, I think we can just beat them because I think we're better physically, defensively, plus offensively. We have more skill set. We can just handle them. I'm not worried about the Hawks more than I am the Bucks. Okay, the Bucks worry me a little bit more than the Hawks do, but I think that we should be able to handle that pretty easily. That's just my feelings on the situation and what we should be able to do. So I'm interested to see how that's going to play out. But let's get some revenge on the Rockets tomorrow. Okay, the game's at 7:30 on ABC, so it'll be a nationally televised game. And another thing I like about that is I looked at the odds, and Jokic is running away because he's just his stats: 30 points a game, 13 rebounds, 10 assists. He's averaging triple-double. But if they're where they are, and this is the thing in the standings, which let's go to NBA standings right now, the Nuggets are 7th. So no matter what he's averaging, if the Nuggets finish 5th, 6th, or 7th, and the Thunder finish number 1, how the hell can you not give it to SGA? It doesn't matter what numbers you're throwing up if you're 7th in the league. Your team's not winning, so how are you the most valuable player in the league if your team is not winning? So to me, that has to go to SGA. It just does. And when you look at the standings from the West, this is where they are currently as of now. Okay? The Thunder and the Rockets, 1 and 2 in the West. We're winners of 4. They're winners of 2. They're 2.5 games back. Remember, this game counts. Okay? This game counts against your win-loss. So you got to win this game. And then on top of that, the next game does not, the finals does not count against your win-loss record. So this matters because, one, this puts us 2-1 against the Rockets in the win-loss column when we play each other. And we have to play them, remember, 3 more times, I believe, because I think we played them 4 times total. And we played them, well, I guess 2 more times because we played them twice. So that would put us up 2-1 against them. And then you got the Rockets 17-8. And I look at that, and this is just a matchup. And I like their coach, and I said it like I said before in the beginning of the year. I worry about the Rockets. They're going to be a team that's going to surprise me because they've got athleticism, they've got a big man, they've got a point guard, and they've got a coach that teaches these guys how to play. And it just matters. Coaching matters. No matter what sport you're in, it matters. The Grizzlies, 17-8, they're coming right along. Winners of 3, 2.5 back. I think they're another team that Ja is on a mission. He's on a mission. The Mavs, they've done a better job than the Nuggets and the T-Wolves as far as integrating their new person in, which is Klay Thompson. The T-Wolves are still struggling. The Nuggets picking up Russell Westbrook, really? And you lose KCP? You lose Brown for that? I mean, come on. Russell's days are gone. Then on top of that, you got the Warriors, and I'm not really worried about the Warriors. I mean, they're okay. They can beat you once or twice because of Steph Curry and what he can bring. And then when you add the other guys in, but I like Lindy Waters, but he's playing too much. That's not happening at all. I don't see it. And then the Clippers are the Clippers, and they're just going to be where they are, but they do have Kawhi back. So the fact that they're doing as well as they are without him, shockingly, once again, talk about somebody who's stealing from the league. Wow. And then that's your breakdown after that. So when I look at, when I see where we are, the Thunder, and we just showed you where we are. We have a chance to really make a deal because if you win the cup, and then you win the NBA Finals and you win the chip, you'll be the first team ever to do something. You'll be the first team to win the chip, win the cup, and turn around and win the deal. Because remember, the Lakers won the cup last year, and they got beat in the quarterfinals, I believe, last year in the playoffs. So I think here's an opportunity for the Thunder to really do something and make a mark for themselves. That's what I think. So we'll see how that plays out with the Thunder and what they're doing. But I'm excited about this year. I'm excited about our team. And then SGA just continues to do what he does. But I hope that he becomes our third MVP that we've had here on the Thunder. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and then Shea. Even though the other two, to me, are better than Russell. Russell won simply because he was the first guy with triple-double. That's why he won. He wasn't the most valuable player in the league. It's because he had a triple-double. And the Thunder helped him do that 100%, which it is what it is, but they did help him do that. So, but we're going to go ahead and take the W, and we're going to take the fact that this will be our third MVP player we've had on the team. So let's thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have any needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit our guys up over there. My guy, Mark Long, they love to take care of you. And if you have a water treatment plant, they can make sure that you have clean drinking water in your city or your county. So hit those guys up. Collaborative Logic, if you have needs for computers or software to make your office run smoother, hit our boys up over there. And they also do a great job of website design. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit our boys up over there. They'd love to take care of you. And then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They're the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the OKC area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you go to the main bank, 401M, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road, YB Parkway, Garth Brooks, and I-40, just south of I-40, right there on Garth Brooks, right in front of the hospital. Can't miss it. And then, of course, YB Peoples, located on 23rd and Bethany between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then my guy at Elm Grove Clothing, Jonathan Beakey Triplet. If you got needs for a suit, my man will hook you up. Call my boy up. He'll take care of you. 405-332-8787. Why spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 over a suit when you can spend $800 to $1,000 and get the same result? He'll come into your house or to your business and size you right up. I know that he did Kendrick Perkins last week. He went to Houston and went to Kendrick's house and got some suits from Kendrick. So anyway, love to do it. Hit my boy up. He'll take care of you. I promise you, he'll do it. He did a great suit for me for the JFK Awards. Cannot at all get away from that. He did a great job. And then also, guess what? My basketball camp is coming up December 30th and 31st, grades 1st through 8th, Monday and Tuesday, 8 to 12. You can use the QR code right here on the screen. Just load it up, queue it up, call them all guys up. We'd love to take care of you. You have to have that done by this week because we've got to get our T-shirts and everything ordered next week. So the following week is Christmas, and it's going to be a hellacious time trying to get that done. So hit our guys up over there. Or hit my guys up on my QR code for my basketball camp. It's going to be fun. And remember, we only take 20, 25 kids. That's all we take. That's all we take. We don't take a bunch because we're not really into that. I'm really into training kids more than I am anything else. So now, switching sports. In NFL yesterday, in NFL news, let's just go ahead and do NFL news, okay? Bill Belichick signs a 5-year, $50 million deal with UNC, University of North Carolina, with a clause that says he can leave for the NFL after June 1st, 2025. And the buyouts dropped from $10 million to $1 million after that date. Now, when I see this, I just don't know if Bill Belichick has the personality to coach college football. Because for 1 year, maybe people will go there because he's Bill Belichick. But I just don't see it. Sorry. I just don't see it. I don't think he can't. He's trying to, put up this personality now, McAfee and whatever other thing he's on, like he's this personality on Manny Cast. Bro, come on. Well, you are who you are, and you're just trying to put up this front so you can get a job again in the NFL. You want to be an NFL coach. You're trying to break the record by Don Shula. That's what you're trying to do, but it doesn't matter because I believe that Andy Reid is going to come back and break whatever record you set. And let's face it, with Tom Brady, your record with Tom Brady and without Tom Brady, you're a losing coach without Tom Brady. Those are facts. Those are facts. And so I just don't see how that's going to make that big of a difference, at least not to me. It doesn't at all. But, some people feel the way they feel. Me personally, I'm not a fan of this. I just don't think he's the guy. And speaking of the guys, two really good coaches last night were going at it. Two really good coaches. And that would be Sean McVay and, oh my God, my mind just went blank, Mike Shanahan. And you look at this, not Mike Shanahan, but Kyle Shanahan, Mike's son. The Rams 8-6, Niners 6-8, 12-6. This game pretty much put me to sleep last night. I'm like, oh my God, it was boring. And that's the problem with, they should be flexing some of these games out. And I'm sure they thought it was going to be better, but the weather being bad, Brock Purdy, I just don't get it. And that one dude that's on this one station, he wears me out. He has the stupidest takes. He's a Chiefs hater. And it's just, to me, it's like, dude, you have little man syndrome. You really do. I mean, he comes out, he makes the stupidest stuff, and he's a typical internet type deal. He's got it down. If you say a bunch of stupid things, oh man, did you hear that? And you'll get all these followers because people like to hear stupid stuff. It's ridiculous. Sorry, it's ridiculous. Matthew Stafford, 16 for 27, 160. Brock Purdy, 14 for 31, 142, and one pick. 300 total yards for the Rams, 191 for the Niners, 160 yards rushing for the Rams, 63 for the Niners, which normally is different. 14 first downs to 11, which is what that should be, and 35 minutes of possession to 56. It was terrible. It was a boring game last night. I'm sorry. Now, this is what the schedule is for this weekend. We do have some really, really, really good games coming up. The Ravens and the Giants are not one of them. Giants plus 16. They're not very good. I think the Ravens are going to smash them. I don't know about 16 points, but I do believe that Mr. Jackson is going to make a statement and try to get back in the MVP race against Josh Allen. But I think Josh has it wrapped up. To me, he's just been outstanding this year. Jets and Jaguars, nobody cares unless you're a Jets fan or Jaguars fan. In that case, I'm going to give you some love by saying the Jaguars are plus 3.5, over under 40. Okay? Give you a little love. Cowboys and Panthers. I know people are going to watch the Cowboys, but the Panthers are -3. And shout out to Mr. Young, showing that he is an NFL quarterback. Get the right coach. You put him in the right system. The kid can play. You're not as good as he is if you can't play. And I think that that's been shown. You put him in the right situation. The kid should have beat the Chiefs. If the guy catches the damn ball, they beat the Eagles. They've been competitive, and they scare you. But so the Panthers -3 over the Cowboys. I don't know if that's a case or not, but we shall see. Commanders and the Saints. This is going to be a really big game. Saints plus 7.5. Commanders need this if they're trying to get their playoffs, keep their playoff hopes alive. They're going to have to do this. They got to get this one in. Then of course the Bengals and the Titans. I don't care. Anyway, Bengals and Titans +5. Over under 47.5. And then the Chiefs and the Browns. That's the game I'm going to be watching at noon. Chiefs and Browns. The Browns +4. That's going to be a hell of a game, I think. And then, of course, Chiefs need to win this because if they win, and you got to remember who the Bills play. Okay, because the Bills have the Lions late in the late game. So you get to watch the Chiefs at 12, the Bucks and Lions, and the Chiefs and Browns. But the Chiefs got to win this game. If they win this game, right, they already have a 2-game lead. If they win this game, then they beat the Steelers or beat who do they play next week? I forget who they play next. They play somebody next week. I forget who they play right now. But it's not Steelers in 2 weeks. Who is it next week? They play somebody next week. I forget who it is right now off the top of my head. But I know, the Texans. If they beat these next 2 games, then they could basically sit their guys the last 3 games. If they are the next 2 games, because they don't need to beat the Steelers and they don't need to beat them. So I don't know how they're going to play that. But if they don't play the squad and let the Steelers win that game on Christmas, I think that could come back to hurt him a little bit. But, I'm not Andy Reid. He's one of the greatest coaches ever, so I'm sure he'll get that done. So the Dolphins and the Texans, Texas are minus 3-point favorites. They're in Houston. And I need to take Lil G to a game. I really need to go down and take him to a Texans game. We've been to the Rockets games, but I know I'm going to go back and take him to the Rockets Thunder game again because he's a huge Rockets fan. Jalen Green is his favorite player. So, yeah, I'm going to have my Thunder stuff on. He's going to have his Rocket stuff on, and we're going to enjoy the game. It's going to be funny because people are going to look at us like, what is this about? Oh, that's gonna be hilarious. And the Colts and the Broncos. I think that's gonna be a really good game. The Broncos need to win to keep their head, keep their hopes alive of winning, getting into the playoffs, not winning the West because Chiefs have already done that for the ninth straight year. Bills, the Patriots, and the Cardinals. I mean, Kyler, come on, bro. Let's step up and play well. Got to get that -6. Come on now, got to get that done. Like I said, I believe the Broncos will win -4. Bills and the Lions. Lions are -2.5. Now, being not a fan of any team in the NFL, I don't have an NFL team. I say, but if I'm going to have one, I like the Chiefs. But I don't care. They're not my favorite team or anything like that. But I'd rather them go ahead and win that 3 in a row. So, to me, Lions take care of the business over the Bills. Give the Chiefs a 3-game lead over that. So I think that'll make all the difference because if the Chiefs win and the Bills lose, they'll have a 3-game lead at that point with 3 games to play, and all they need to do is beat the Texans or the Steelers, and they're automatically in. But, let's face that last game against the Broncos, they're not going to play. They're going to take that rest so they can get 2 weeks off because the schedule they've had is crazy. 3 games in 10 days, it's just insane. Buccaneers and Chargers, what a hell of a game that's going to be. Baker going to SoFi. Jim Harbaugh. That's what he does. He just goes in, wins his first year. This is what he does. But he's got a team, and you look at that team and talk about how coaching matters. You look at where that team was last year compared to where they are. Coaching matters, guys. It really, really does in every sport. It matters. Steelers and Eagles, -5.5. I will say I'm taking the Eagles in this game. The Steelers will play well, but the Eagles got some turmoil going in, but I think that they're going to beat the Steelers. I don't know if Russell can do that, especially without their wide receiver. They got to have him. He's a knucklehead, but you got to have him in. So I'm going to probably take the Eagles right there. And once again, that helps the Chiefs. If the Steelers win and the Steelers lose and the Bills lose, that opens them up and really gives them a chance, especially if they go ahead and the Chiefs go ahead and beat the Browns, which who the hell knows which Jameis Winston's going to show up. The pick 6 Winston or the one that's got them third in the league in scoring. Who the hell knows? Packers and Seahawks. What a game. This is going to be the Seahawks +2.5 at home. What a hell of a game that's going to be, I believe, and figuring out how that's going to work out. I just don't know what's really going to happen in that game. So, Bears and Vikings. Vikings, -7. Caleb, 7 straight games without throwing a pass, interception as a rookie, NFL record. I think the Bears, they need a coach. They need the right coach. Now, do you need an offensive coach, or do you need a defensive coach or somebody to come in and set the table as far as things come? Now, I believe Mike Vrabel, if he comes in, he's going to set the tone in the locker room, kind of like what Jim Harbaugh did. And then what you do, you go out and you hire a young, smart offensive coordinator who understands how to work with a young quarterback. Because that was idiotic for Eberflus not to hire his quarterback coach. That, to me, his quarterback coach is leaving. He was a quarterback coach for him in college, and he's coming to the pros, and you don't hire him. You're an idiot. You don't need to be coach anymore. That tells me everything you need to know right there. You need to go. So, hell of a game that's going to be right there between the Bears and the Vikings. But let's face it, the Vikings or the Bears are just down there, and the Vikings are trying to hold on and stay right behind the Lions. So they have to win because the Lions are probably going to beat the Bills or think they will. So they've got to stay in the hunt right there. And then the Falcons and the Raiders. That game's at 7:30, not 3:30, by the way. It's at 7:30. And I just don't care. I really don't. I really don't care. And that's the problem with the NFL. They've got this flex schedule that is supposed to have the good teams playing against each other so we get to watch good football. Well, last night, was that good football? Now, it was supposed to be. The Rams and the Niners were supposed to be at the beginning of the year. Oh, man, what a great game that was. But it wasn't. 12-6. I barely watched it. That's why I didn't really comment on it. I barely watched it. I didn't have anything really to say about it because I barely watched it because I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. And you know, I'm a basketball player, so to me, it's about the NBA Cup. It's about what our Thunder team is doing, and it's about the standings. That's what it is to me. And most of you guys feel the same way I do, that it's about what we're doing as a team and where we are, because we have a huge game tomorrow. And then, of course, Bedlam is tomorrow, which for some reason our coach, football coach, didn't want to play them anymore. And I'm like, what the hell difference does it make? You're not going to out recruit them as far as players. It's OU versus OSU. It's tradition. Why are you not playing? They're not in our division anymore. Doesn't they're in the SEC? What difference does it make? Where you play them? Oh, you beat them 2 out of 3 times. You beat them last time we played, so it's over. It's ridiculous. We're still playing them in basketball, even though it's going to be a Paycon, which I think is even better because it's at a neutral site. And I promise you, there'll be 8, 9, 10,000, probably 10,000 people, maybe more. Why wouldn't it be? It's Bedlam. I mean, we got to have something. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Basketball's playing. I think baseball's playing. I think soccer's playing. Everybody's playing except football. Shows you what kind of guy you got. I just don't understand it. I really don't. And a lot of people don't understand it as well. A lot of people are frustrated, just like I am, why we're not playing with football. It doesn't count against schedule. All it is bragging rights. It's something we've done for 100 years. And the way you are, you're going to change that. I don't get it. I just don't get it. You have nothing. The only thing it's not like you're recruiting. You're going to take some recruits from, so it's not recruiting. You're not going to take any recruits from OU football. So why are you not playing? I don't understand that. I just don't. Oh, you're afraid of competition? Is that what it is? You beat them 2 out of 3 last 3 times you played. So is it that? What is it? It's just him. Okay. Anyway, don't get me on the soapbox with them. So back to the good thing. Thunder tomorrow night, 8:30. That's what matters for us. Okay, that's what all y'all care about. That's what I care about. And then here are our next 10 games. I didn't talk about that, so we're going to talk about this before we get out of here. Here, remember, I do 10 games at a time. Okay, right now we've won 4 in a row, and we have the Rockets tomorrow night at 7:30 on ABC. Which, number one, that gives us more exposure to our city. Number 2, it gives SGA even that much more exposure to try to win the MVP. And like I said earlier, he'd be our 3rd Thunder player to win the MVP. Now, Kevin Durant was a beast. Russell Westbrook won it because the Thunder helped him get the MVP. Nobody that year went, Russell Westbrook is the MVP. Everybody goes, oh, he had a triple-double, which nobody had done. So that's why he won it. But still, it's still the MVP. Then, if we win that, we play again Sunday. Or excuse me, I think it's Sunday or Monday against let me see, when is the NBA Cup? Let me not lie. Let me go to that real quick. And then the next game will be Tuesday. Will be the championship game on ABC at 7:30. Okay, good. I want to get back to that so I know exactly when that was. So that's where we stand with that. So, but anyway, now getting back to our next 10 games. We have, if we play that Tuesday, then of course on Thursday we have the 19th, which is the Magic in there in Orlando is playing really, 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 really well without Banchero. And then they barely got beat by Milwaukee without Franz Wagner, and Banchero. But they still are a tough team, and we'll see. And Jalen Suggs is playing really, really well for them. Then, of course, back-to-back, we have the Heat, which Jimmy Butler, of course, is one seeking a trade, which – whatever. If you want to leave Miami, I'm sure he's just tired of it, wanting to get out of there. And Jimmy Butler is just Jimmy Butler. I want his welcome everywhere he's been. Chicago, Philadelphia, now it's Miami. The Wizards at home, we should blow them out, but you never know how that's going to happen. The teams you think you might not win, who knows? So, anyway, of our next 6 games, okay, we should beat the Rockets. We need to beat the Rockets. We should beat the Magic because they just don't match up. Defensively, we're amazing, and they just don't match up with us offensively. The Heat, we should beat them, but of course that's coaching, and coaching matters on the road. Wizards, we should win that, so we should be at least 3-1 or whatever in our next 4 games. Then we have the Pacers at Indianapolis, which who knows which one of those teams is going to show up. They could be really good. I think that's just a tough matchup for us. So, but I'm going to go ahead and give us the 1 and then the Hornets. So we should win. We should be 5-1 in our next 6 games. That's the way I look at it. And that's what I think we should do. We should end up because of the team we got. Of course, our defense, and I went over it earlier about showing our team stats and where we are as far as the NBA overall and what we're doing and what we're accomplishing. So anyway, hey, great show today. I'm still just not feeling that great. This weather, I just hot or cold, pick one. Pick one. This back and forth is just not good for me. Not good for me. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Stay warm, stay cool. Go Thunder, go Oklahoma State. Kick